Hello and welcome to episode 3 of the XboxEra podcast. It's we've settled on a cadence now. It's going to be a bi-weekly thing, and I'm here with the usual camaraderie and crew of Funknown, Shpeshal Ed, and Kaironaut. Here we are again. Technological foibles this morning and trying to get this damn thing to record in a decent way, notwithstanding. How are we?
Spend more time getting it ready.
An hour and a half later than it was meant to.
Considering I got up at 4:30 for this, that's.
We spent more time prepping it than we're probably gonna have recording it.
I feel that this is the worst for Funknown because for you it's like what? It's got to be 1:30 right now for you.
1:35.
This is gonna be a 20-minute podcast.
Yep.
If I just disappear from the camera and lean back, don't mind.
We'll be like Funknown.
Don't mind. That's why he's got the hat on this time to cover the fact that he's sleeping.
Oh, my eyes, they're still closed.
You'll just hear like murmuring in his sleep, like remove radar from Halo. No radar.
You know me too well.
It'll be fine.
You Bungie people have been arguing for that years, and Bungie didn't give it to you. 343 isn't going to give it to you either. Come on now.
No, they're not.
You never know. They made a change with the HCS radar. That's a good step in the right direction.
Is that where it's sound only? So like it's sounds and abilities that you appear?
Spartan abilities and sprinting.
Yeah,
and
that
shooting.
Makes sense. I think that's a good compromise. What you guys been playing? You playing anything new? Playing anything fun? Video games. That thing that we talk about a lot. Do we play any of them? I don't know.
Do we play video games?
I don't
know.
I
just think I talk more about them on Reset Era than I do anything else.
I just go to the Halo thread.
I don't think I've gone with anything new, but I have gone back in preparation for Modern Warfare. I'm trying to finish off Call of Duty World War II.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
My save file corrupted like 2 years ago, and I never bothered going back. So I've decided to go back, and I'm doing my veteran run, which is a bitch. And
Nice.
The usual Rocket League. So I play.
You play that
every
a
day.
lot. Every time I wake up, I see like Ed's playing Rocket League over and over
think
and over.
on Xbox alone, I think I'm on about 1,000 hours.
Jesus.
Switch, I'm probably on 100, and then PS4 probably another 50 or so. But yeah, a lot of Rocket League. And a bit of Paw Patrol.
What PlayStation T-shirt are you wearing today, Ed?
It's not PlayStation. It's Legend of Zelda.
The contrast was coming out. That's a cool T-shirt. I'm all for it. Rocking the ODST Jazz Fest right now with the Saxima Boom. Love it. I've been playing. What have I been playing?
That's cool.
That is cool.
You see it though? The little touch.
Metroid.
Nice.
Is that a gaff? Is that a gaff logo?
Yeah,
You put a little, you put some tape over it.
But it's still a cool shirt though.
Yeah,
It was.
Yeah, it was.
The Metroid one.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we won't reveal your true allegiances here.
Yeah. Into that, God, that has become a cesspool. I ventured back in there, just curious. It's a shame because in Gaff, just before it all erupted, I finally earned a custom member tag, which was #1 Dad, which I absolutely loved, and it's gone. It's gone. I'll never go back there. So, ugh. I've been playing.
I have a tag on Gaff now.
Do you? What's your tag? Cuck.
Yeah. It's AKA my alt account name.
Oh man. Oh god. What is your old account name?
I had Shpeshal Ed from back in 2007, and then Shpeshal Ed got perma banned, and then I had about 10 different alts over a few years, and one of them stuck, which was Collingwood, and that's the one that stayed.
Oh, didn't you have a little bird?
A little birdie.
The magpie. But he's giving me Shpeshal Ed back. I admitted to the alt, and he was okay with it.
Ah, there you go.
And he gave me my original account back.
Nice.
Congrats.
And now you look at where you are today.
In a better spot for sure, honestly.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Like, for everything that it kind of could be improved, it's still way better than Gaff.
So,
What else
video
you guys
games.
play?
Video games, yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Mario Maker, anybody?
No Mario Maker, but I've been seeing a lot of weird videos
Yeah.
of like players
Yeah.
making calculators or freaking in-game like dungeon crawlers or whatever, like old school dungeon crawlers, and holy shit.
I saw some viral video and it was like a ridiculously hard Mario Maker level where he was constantly avoiding like these giant spinning arms, and it just was titled trying to avoid offending someone in 2019. And it's just like ducking and diving.
I've seen that too.
I was just
seen that too.
Accurate. It's an accurate description.
But speaking of complex things and really simple games, I've been playing a lot of Minecraft recently. So
I saw that.
It's
that's
had a
been
little
fun.
bit. It's had a little bit of a resurgence in my group as well, and I think Microsoft in general has had a bit of a resurgence in Minecraft. Like, there's been a lot of big streamers going back to it, right?
Yeah, and I purchased a realm for me and my friends to like hang out on, and it's honestly like super convenient being able to just have a server that I don't have to maintain hardware for, that I don't have to like set up connections for. You just pay $8 a month, and you get a fucking private server. You can't put like a lot of people on it. I think the max is 10 at a time.
That's still pretty good.
It's still, if you have a small group of friends and you guys play Minecraft occasionally, it's not a bad investment for $8.
Yeah, I run a server for Wreckfest, and that's pretty much the only thing I've been playing. I have been a bit bummed out lately. Like, I as people know, I've stand pretty hard for Sea of Thieves this gen. I think it's hands down the most fun I've had in video game form with friends in forever. And my old crew and I, we ragged that thing pretty right. We've played a lot, like easily over 500 hours of Sea of Thieves since it launched. And they announced all this new stuff and the monthly updates, and arguably, and I get it from their perspective, the new stuff is kind of the old stuff, but just with a new label and a new kind of thing, a new twist. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, guys, you want to jump back in? And they were like, nah, I'm kind of burnt out on it. And I'm like, and no one wants to play anymore. So I need to hit up Sukiya on our little crew, and because I know he still plays Sea of Thieves, and see if I can eke my way into the crew, maybe throw someone else overboard, I don't know. But I miss playing that game.
What kind of boat are you?
It's a galleon. It's a galleon crew.
Oh, a galleon. I'm all about that brig.
Yeah, the briggy's cool, like if there's only 3 of us, but the briggy's like the best ship, I think, because it's fastest and most easy to kind of get everyone doing everything, but it's a bit of a bitch to fix at times. But yeah, I've really enjoyed that game, and I want to see Rare do more with it, and it's kind of a good segue, so I wanted to give a quick shout out actually while I'm here. So last week we spoke about it in the podcast, the XboxEra.com website launching, which is mostly to host this, but also for us to post thoughts, opinions, news, articles, etc. Everything Xbox and MS related. We've got a crew that are behind the scenes that aren't just us four, that are posting articles and things as they come up and writing opinion pieces. So massive shout out to Slicer Dicer for his epic Suka Brood and Proven Deadly from Reset Era and from the Xbox Era community. They are putting some work in, and it's awesome to read as well and see it sort of come to life. So again, for those listening, if you've got thoughts and opinions that you think are important for us to know about, give us a shout on the Discord. We can set you up on the website if you want to share something and put some pen to paper digitally, so to speak. But did you guys read Slicer's Gears tech test impressions? I thought it was
I haven't yet.
Really, really in depth. It was really good.
It's on my reading list, but I have not yet read it. Sorry, Slice. I'll get to it.
You'll get to it.
But I haven't gotten it there.
How did you guys feel?
I skimmed through it. I saw some of the clips. It was pretty cool.
His gifs are literally the nuts. Like he's too good at that game. I would not want to come up against him in a PvP environment. Did you guys enjoy the Gears 5 tech test from what you played of it?
Arcade mode.
I think we talked about this last week.
We did, yeah.
We did.
One week in.
Arcade mode still sucks. Arcade mode still sucks.
No, it
Ranked is
doesn't.
the best.
Shut up.
Sorry.
Wrong.
I mean, the Nasherfest is Gears, and
No,
I
it's
like
not.
it. Yes, it is. It's always been Gears.
I think
Epic
Here's
tried
a-
to change
here's a
it
wild idea.
years ago.
I think that
Both
the fact
didn't
that
exist.
I think the fact that they're trying to change that meta is a good thing. But we've got Gamescom coming up, so and they've revealed that not only are they going to be doing the Horde reveal, but apparently an exclusive campaign trailer I hear is on the card. So is this a sign that Rod definitely listened to the feedback in our podcast and was like, these guys are right, I better show some campaign footage? Or do we think it was the plan all along and it's going to be like a minute and a half of brief cutscene trailer type things and it will be back
Probably.
to Horde mode? I'm leaning towards the latter. I think it's going to be
Probably.
literally like a blink. Oh, you missed it. Sorry.
But how cool of a
Although,
story would be if
speaking-
they don't show nothing, but the game turns out to be phenomenal, and
That's-
then in the end, everybody starts praising the game. It's like you don't need to show the whole game pre-release for it to be good.
Yeah.
That's
I-
what I'm hoping for.
I
don't
hope
anyway.
that that's the case. Because I don't understand.
Speaking of Gears, though, did you all see the limited edition 1X?
Yes, it looks
I
gorgeous,
did, yeah.
but I'm not dropping
God damn.
450 quid.
Yeah,
on a
no one
console
in their right mind should be dropping like that much money
a year
this close.
before.
to Scarlet's launch.
No.
Like,
Yep.
no. Put your money towards the next console. Don't be dumb.
Yeah,
Come
I
on
don't know.
now.
I'm thinking about buying it.
It
and
looks
selling my
beautiful.
Scorpio.
It looks beautiful, but if you're planning on playing it and not keeping it in its spot, keeping it in its box for 10 fucking years so you can get that massive $10,000 check, then you're dumb.
Yeah, I can't
I'm
justify like and arguably like Gears is fun, but it's not a franchise that I am like, like absolutely pumped for. Saying that, I'm all for the campaign being excellent. I've been playing through 4 recently with a friend, and I think I wrote 4 off when I first played it. I was just a bit like, nah, it was a bit of a tired retread. It didn't do anything particularly new or exciting.
It wasn't the best.
But I've recently picked up new toy stealth brag right now, a 32:9 monitor, and Gears 4 supports super ultra wide resolution. So I've been playing it on ultra
That
in
looks
super
cool.
wide, and
Nice.
That
holy
looks cool.
shit, it is awesome to play. And it's 144 hertz monitor as well. So I've been getting an absolutely blistering frame rate. It's all FreeSync. Yeah, super impressed with it. So it now makes me more excited from an ultra wide perspective, because I saw that Gears 5 is obviously going to support all that. Sea of Thieves supports all that. All the new all the old Halos on PC are going to support super ultra wide. There were some screenshots linked from 343 where they had, and it's proper super wide, because a lot of developers, they'll support the res, but you'll have your HUDs in each corner like you would in a normal monitor. And for super ultra wide on Halo, I saw that they brought all the HUD to the center of the screen, but you've still got all that wonderful FOV to soak it in. So yeah, I've been enjoying super ultra wide gaming. It's legit. It is legit. I only hope that when the console launches next year for Scarlet, that they include this kind of thing, because they've talked about including so much more. And right now the One X does variable refresh rate and things like that, right? So
Yeah.
I do wonder, are we going to see Microsoft lean into their PC world and go, hey, here's super ultra wide support, here's 144 hertz support. Who knows?
They should.
It would be great if they did, but I have a feeling it would only be for first party titles, right? I can live with that.
Maybe their Gears and Halo marketing is just going to be getting Ninja to stream it on Mixer.
Probably. I've noticed the adverts. Yeah, that's a good segue. They bought Ninja, so they're not just acquiring studios now; they're acquiring streamers to get down with the kids, yo.
Didn't he
It's
break
hard
a
to
million
argue it wasn't a
subscribers?
smart move, though.
No, I mean that got everyone talking about Mixer, and Mixer's great. I think it's more feature rich than Twitch, but there's just no one on it.
I still think it's not like... It's better than it was, but I'm still not sure it's ready for prime time myself. But, yeah.
So, going back to Gamescom, though, I actually have a question for all of you guys. What is probably your most anticipated, outside of Gears, most anticipated title to see more info at Gamescom, hopefully? Because me personally, it's Age of Empires.
Yeah,
And I know someone in the YouTube comments on the last episode was disappointed that we didn't mention it. But honestly, I didn't think it bared mentioning at the time when
We didn't know
nothing
anything.
was really coming.
Yeah.
No, nothing. It wasn't coming in the immediate future.
Yep.
To talk about it, really. But Gamescom, I really want Microsoft to show more off of that game.
Well, the
Yeah.
studio's not even official yet, is it?
Well, it's official. It just hasn't got a name.
It's official. It's just not a name. No name yet. It's just the Age of Empire studio. But throwing it to you guys, what's your most anticipated title outside of Gears or Age 4 to like see at Gamescom? Hopefully.
Streets of Rage 4.
Yeah, that's a good blast from the past.
Yeah.
Streets of Rage 4.
Rage.
Did they announce Xbox for that?
I can't.
No, but it's going to come out on Xbox. It's not going to be an issue.
Yeah, it will come out.
I'll probably
in some
get that.
form.
I'll probably get that on Switch though. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here.
Double A. Buy it twice. Xbox and Switch.
Double dip. Hey, if it comes to Game Pass at launch, you don't have to worry. I think that's one of the biggest things for me now as I look at games that come out, and especially if there's smaller titles, I think give it 6 months. It'll be here. Someone will do it, or anything from Square Enix that doesn't meet their kind of weirdly astronomical sales requirement. That'll come. I'll have that. But
what about you two, Seek and Funknown? What's your most anticipated thing to look forward to at Gamescom?
For me, it has to be Battletoads. Going back to last episode.
Sorry, we killed it. We killed Battletoads, dude. It's
You
dead.
did, but I'm keeping it alive. I'm telling you. It's going to be a fun game. And if it's not, it's not. But you know what? I have to know.
Yeah.
I've been wanting this game to return and other rare IP for so long where at least they're giving it a shot.
Yeah.
And who knows? Maybe it'll become an indie, like a small indie hit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It could become a little cult classic, like I think as long as they lean into it being bastard hard, then much like Cuphead. Cuphead got a lot of attention because of their art style and the work they did. And small mention, did you see that Cuphead's getting a Netflix animated series?
I did.
Yeah.
Like
That could be
cool. As long as it's done in that art
could be
style,
really
like
cool.
yeah, really really nifty. I'm impressed, and it's not necessarily a cartoon for kids, which is interesting. So I'm curious as to how mature that might get. I mean, for me, Gamescom, Microsoft typically they play it quite understated every Gamescom. I don't think this year is going to be any different. We might see some Age 4 stuff. We're definitely going to see some Gears stuff, but I don't think we're going to see anything out there from them. One thing I would love to see more of is Flight Simulator.
There we go.
Just because, like, a small part of me thinks, yeah, cool, Flight Simulator, wicked. I'll give it a go because I've got some sticks for it and stuff. But then another smaller voice in my head says, remake Crimson Skies, you cowards. Using that technology, and then we'll have a really cool AAA Crimson Skies. But it's probably not going to happen. But I would be interested in seeing more from Flight Simulator, just to try it out because I'm mostly curious. Like that's not a game I'm like super hyped about, but I'm like, well, there's got to be something interesting. There's got to be a hook for people to be able to pull that off, much like Euro Truck Simulator. Like driving from one end of the country to the other.
Has Flight Simulator ever had a hook?
Well, it's a super
ever had a
niche. It's a super niche genre, right?
I mean, the hook was that it was so accurate that freaking the Air Force would use it. The Air Force and the Army would use it. Yeah, they'd use it to train pilots. So, I mean, maybe try and take it the Forza route.
Yeah.
Where it's like a pure simulator, but customization. You have different like assigned flights you take your planes on, stuff like that. No multiplayer, but definitely like deep customization.
Well, they had multiplayer in the original flight simulators, I think, and I remember seeing some YouTube videos of like people.
Did they?
Yeah, all flying like Boeing 737s in formation, like, and the frame rate just cratering. So I don't know if that was.
I think the last time I played Flight Simulator was like 93.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've loaded anything like that up. But
definitely try and go the Forza route. I think that'd be good.
So just thinking here that we're going to see Horde this week coming up. If I look at my calendar correctly, August 19th, isn't it? So I mean, are you guys expecting like this huge change, or are you expecting it to be more of the same? Are you expecting them to be suddenly like huge twists?
I think
there'll be a mode.
exactly. I expect it to be exactly what Gears 4 was.
Yeah.
I don't think there'll be any changes because they've put all their effort into that new showcase mode they showed at E3.
Escape.
So it doesn't make sense
Escape.
to like. It doesn't make sense, I think, for them to just like refocus efforts on updating Horde. I don't really personally. I didn't play Horde a lot in 4.
No,
so,
I didn't.
But so I wouldn't really know like what to change or what the problems were.
Yeah,
So.
it's they were the first ones, right, back in last gen to come up with a wave based, duke it out with friends until the very end. And I remember I had a LAN for Gears 2. When was that? 2008? I don't even know anymore. And we had a bunch of us playing Horde, and there was 8 of us in total, so we could do 4v4. But then as the night progressed, we split off into 2 sides, so we had 4 doing Horde and 4 doing Horde. And it was who could get to level 50, and I think it was on Insane, or whatever the hardest difficulty was. And I think it was like 4 a.m. And suddenly, and I lived in a flat back then, so, I had to be wary of my neighbours. But 4 a.m, it was like we were on level 50, everything was tense, 3 of us were down, and one guy had, you had the boomer shields you could, cower behind, and, so they were blocking them in, and they had, 2 boomers left, and there was just, everyone was gathered around this one guy, like, come on, man, you can do this for the team, and he did it, and there was just this huge, scream, and then my neighbours were knocking on the door, really, really pissed off about it, because we woke everybody up by hollering, because we tried to get to that point so many times. So good memory. So I hope that it's, that kind of camaraderie feeling is going to come through again, but I didn't really touch it in Gears 4. I don't know what about it is. I think it's another point to so many games nowadays try to vie for your time. They want to be the only game you play. And I miss that era of, not every game has to be that. And I think that is one of the problems of this whole games as a service generation, is that every game is constantly going, if you don't log in today, you're going to miss out. And it's like, I don't want to have to manage my, my hobby as some sort of workload that needs to be ticked off on a list. And I will never understand playing games in that way. It doesn't make sense to me.
At least from my perspective, it's less about GaaS being bad or the staples of the GaaS genre being bad, and more about the execution, I guess, because there are a precious few games that do that style of game right. Yeah. Destiny does it right. Killer Instinct did it right with the seasons. Bring back Killer Instinct, by the way, Microsoft.
Yeah, we should talk about that in a second.
So it doesn't. People are quick to shit on GaaS because every time you hear or see the word GaaS, the acronym GaaS, it's automatically, your brain automatically goes to loot box microtransaction filled piece of shit with terrible gameplay and all these hooks. But I mean, some good games actually did come out of it. Apex Legends is a great fucking game.
Yeah, I agree.
Right, and that's GaaS.
Rocket League,
great game.
Anthem.
Fuck Anthem.
Hey, I like it.
Go away. You're making me disprove my point. Take that away from the screen. But if you're gonna pursue, as a studio, if you want to pursue a games as a service title, just fucking commit.
Yeah.
Right. Don't fucking undersell. No, not undersell. Don't exploit your player base.
Yeah.
Just for profit. Make a good game and people will pay more for it over time. Right? Me personally, I've spent a fuck ton of money on keys for crates in Rocket League that I honestly shouldn't have. But I did it because I like the game. And I'm sure you did too, Nick.
I've spent
a lot of keys.
I think I've spent close to $150, $200 Australian.
Jesus
on
Christ.
Rocket League.
So you make a good game, you make people want to come back to play it, and people will spend a little money on it.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't disagree with that. I think it's more, I don't have a problem with games as a service. It's just a symptom of games nowadays, in that every game wants you to log back in. And then it becomes almost like a triage situation of like, what games do I need to log into? Oh, it's Wednesday. Oh, Zer's back. I need to log in and get whatever he's selling. And oh shit, it's Thursday. I need to do my challenges in Sea of Thieves before they update the servers, and then that thing's gone. And it's like, shit, when did it become this almost like a chore? And it's not, because if you enjoy the game, it's not a chore. But it just bubbles underneath that mindset. I think there are plenty of games this generation that have done games as a service, done it right, even if it's games that I have no interest in. So Warframe, I couldn't give two shits. Fortnite, although I do question how hard those poor developers have to work on a week-to-week basis. Like, Jesus Christ.
I question the prices in Fortnite.
Yeah.
$20 a skin is
absurd. Oh my fucking God, don't remind me, dude. Jesus Christ, I spent like $40 on 2 skins in that game. That's $40.
I did the same.
But hey,
I did the same.
This is a good segue into what is the opinion here amongst this group of Epic buying exclusivity. So I'm sure that you've probably all read or heard about Ooblets.
I love it.
A little two-team game that was supported on Patreon, or at least the developers were supported on Patreon, that they've been making diligently for years, I think. And they announced earlier this week that they were going exclusive to Epic Games Store because they needed the money. Fair fucking cop. And then we saw a torrent of abuse and hate and harassment targeted towards 2 people making a fucking video game because they chose to take a check.
Well, it wasn't just that, and I'm pretty sure if you read the thread, most people in there would say they didn't care about them taking the money. Whatever. Epic's gonna give a small time indie developer money to fucking fund their game. So what? It was more that the developer then went out of their way to use.
They were antagonistic.
Exactly.
Their post was
that
a little
same
bit
rhetoric that people that I'm pretty sure the person who wrote that blog post knew exactly what would happen to the people when they read that.
Yeah.
Nah,
so good.
I think my position on the whole Epic buying exclusive things is sure, because like at this point, how else are you going to compete with Steam? Because even if you have all the right features, that doesn't guarantee that people are going to move over, because all their games are on Steam.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think that you're missing the forest for the forest for the trees, right?
That's the correct phrase.
You're not you're not seeing the forest through the trees or something.
You're not seeing the forest through the trees if you continuously say like, oh, it's just another launcher, or oh, it's why stop being a big baby? It's just another account, right? Because when you break down the nuance to that, it is just another account. It is just another launcher. But Epic has done nothing other than buy exclusives to gain market share. They've done nothing to attract customers positively to their store. They don't do the things Valve does to support the ecosystem as well as Valve has done. And it feels as though what they're trying to do is buy favor rather than curry it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but would you argue though that you don't see this reaction when? So I know Ubisoft, they've got an exclusivity thing with Stadia, but they also have Uplay. But they do release their games. Do they release their games on Steam? They do, but you have to download Uplay. EA.
I think they stopped now and they're on Epic.
So EA, you can only buy EA games on Origin. I'm trying to think of other developers or other publishers that do that. But Activision. Oh yeah, they use the Blizzard Activision launcher, right? No one complains that you can only get those games in those places, right? It's just, it's their games. That's fair enough. I think the underlying thing that I think is winding people up. They did, but they kind of got used to it. I think the thing that winds people up.
I was going to say, it's just not. It's just the complaining back then wasn't quite as ferocious as it is now.
No, it is super ferocious.
It was more like the complaint of people who were minorly annoyed.
Yeah.
They weren't like fucking furious. Like, again, like how I'm pretty sure like I knew where you were, and I know where you were going, Seek. With the underlying issue is that rather than create exclusives, they're buying exclusives.
Yeah.
I think that's the problem
difference
people have.
Yeah, and
is because it feels it feels not genuine. It feels
business.
like a cop out.
It doesn't feel community driven. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think Tim Sweeney as well. Tim Sweeney, who was such a proponent, very, very anti-MS when they were doing their whole what was the app? UWP protocol, where they're going to prevent modding, they're going to take over the ecosystem, closed walled garden, bad MS, and then it's kind of like, it's amusing to see this guy who was don't do that, and then suddenly he's got millions of dollars, and he's like, this is fine. I think that is another element of he used to be a proponent for free access and open market. And it is an open market, but he's being very cutthroat and I say Epic by extension are being very cutthroat in their approach to gaining that market share. But it's going to be interesting to see how this all rolls out. You've got to think a year from now, we've got Activision Blizzard, we've got EA, we've got Uplay, you've got
Origin,
yeah, for EA.
Windows Store.
You've got the Game Pass.
GOG.
Yeah, GOG, you've got Steam, and you've got the Epic Launcher. All of these places are going to be trying to do different things. And then you've got Stadia on top of that. I can't remember if I said Stadia. Next gen is going to be an interesting battleground. What I've noticed, though, is that these games that seem to go to the Epic store and sign it doesn't seem to be a no other PC store. It seems to be a no Steam agreement, because we've seen already several games come out for the Game Pass application on Windows that are PC versions but aren't on Steam. And you notice that everyone's like, and I've seen posts in Epic Game Store threads where they're like, I'll just get it on Game Pass if it's there. Like, haha, I've beaten you, Epic, because I can download it for a service I'm paying for. And it's like, well, okay, fine. Like, I don't understand why you're so upset. Like, I don't know. Maybe I find the drama of it, and either way, it should be categorically stated that the harassment and death threats and doxing and all of that bullshit is insane.
That's way out of line.
It is insane to me that any rational human being thinks that because they're behind a keyboard and no one can see their face, that they can just do that. It blows my mind, and I feel very sorry that the developers had to sit through that and read that kind of abuse.
It's about the reason why they're doing it, though. Like,
it's a video game, boys and girls.
Because they have to download a separate piece of free software. Like, the thing that I'd never understood, and I get the whole features argument and all that other crap, but ultimately you're still getting to download that game on the existing piece of hardware that you already have.
Yeah.
It's not like a console exclusive where if you want this game, you have to spend another $200, $300, $400 on a separate piece of hardware.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's an odd one. It is an odd one. But yeah, that's it's going to be an interesting time seeing all of that unfold. I just hope that kind of bullshit stops, because from a community perspective, like the gaming community in general, the toxicity is shocking to me, and I could never understand willingly typing in my keyboard and sending that kind. I would never have ever done something like that in my life, and you got to wonder like what kind of people are doing that and think that it's just okay. It blows my mind, and even worse that there's genuinely no repercussion for people and they can just do that. Shocking. Do you know what time I think it is? I think it's time for Ed's top 5. What are your top 5 this week, Ed? What's happening?
This week I decided to basically reverse kind of what I did last week. So last podcast, which was the games that everyone hates that I loved. So this week I'm going with the games that everyone seems to love that just didn't click with me. And I reckon Cairo's going to like this list a lot.
Oh,
have you checked it out on the website, Cairo?
I haven't yet.
I think it's good that he hasn't, because he's going to go in blind. He's going to go in blind.
So number 5.
Number 5.
It's kind of 2 games, I guess, because they both came out this generation, the first one and the sequel. It's Destiny 2.
Oh, boy. Destiny 2 or Destiny 1?
Well, it's kind of both, really.
Destiny is a franchise.
I did make a genuine effort to get into both of them. More so with Destiny 2 because they ended up giving it away. And, as a huge Halo fan, I guess I should have loved Destiny. I just didn't for whatever reason.
Well, to be fair, Destiny is a very different playing game, but go ahead.
To Halo or to Destiny 2?
Compared to Halo, it plays almost completely differently.
Yeah, it does play different. I think my tolerance for the recoil just wasn't there, and I think I got over that floaty movement and jumping that they sort of held over from Halo. I mean, It's not... Destiny 2 didn't hold on to the floatiness as much as Destiny 1, but it was still kind of there, and I don't know, the whole MMO, shared world, I don't know. I'm just not into that sort of thing. And don't even get me started on the PvP. The PvP in Destiny, I just hated it.
Yeah,
I tried it, didn't like it.
I can't.
Hey, okay.
I can't disagree with your Destiny feelings here. I grabbed Destiny 1.
Hold on.
And it was,
hold on.
Poop.
No, Destiny, you go into Crucible thinking it's a competitive experience, you're going to have a bad time. Everyone knows this. Don't. Crucible is meant as a show-off, okay? It's meant for after you've grinded all the gear and all the shit you want that makes you look cool and makes you feel like a badass. You go into Crucible and then you fucking dunk on people with it. Because that's how you prove that your time meant something in that game. Okay.
So in other words, they don't want new players in the game?
I love
They
it.
want new players to grind.
I love it.
All right.
And to be fair, that's only restricted to one mode anyway, though. So
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. I played Destiny when it came out.
They
at launch.
tried to make Destiny 2's Crucible competitive with the 4v4 and the harder limits and the weird fucking balancing between PvE and PvP that ruined like the entire hero feeling of the game. But at the end of the day, what worked was making Crucible chaotic enough that it felt like a sandbox where you got to play with all the toys you spent collecting.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well,
That's how I
tried
took it. That's how I
That's
have
an
fun
interesting justification for a
I played it
terrible
on
mode.
PS4. I tried it again on Xbox One. I downloaded it on PC so I could play it at 60 and gave it another shot on PC, and I don't know. It didn't grab me.
I think the thing for me with
Destiny's one of those games.
Go on.
For me personally, where it just feels so good to not like it.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
the first game I put a lot of hours into. Like the first 2 weeks, I played that game like every day with my friends. I kind of liked the loop of it, but then like quickly after that 2 weeks, it got really boring, and I never revisited the content packs and expansions.
Yeah.
But to see how like popular it became, and I didn't even buy Destiny 2, and I bought like most of Bungie's games, their history, but something about Destiny I just have zero interest in, and I'm so glad that I missed that I'm missing that train.
I'm exactly the same as you. Like I got Destiny 1 at launch, and everyone was like, it's Bungie, it's gonna be good, it's gonna be good, and I was like, what is this? I finished the campaign with friends, and I was like, what the fuck did I just play? Like there's still a meme in our group of friends where someone will tell a story or tell an anecdote, and it will be a terrible anecdote, and someone will post, it's still a better story than Destiny. And I remember when the loot cave first dropped, like within the first couple of weeks, and I did that with a couple of friends, and I played the loot cave glitch for something like 45 minutes, and then I was like, this is shit.
Why am I doing this?
Why the fuck am I wasting my time playing this? Like, what is this? What am I doing? And I honestly, I put it down, and I never went back. And I saw all the people logging in and trying to get all the cool shit, and it just felt like such a mishmash of ideas. And I think the fact that they partnered with a publishing studio that is known for its predatory loot boxy
Practices.
monetization practices, everything that Activision do in the gaming industry. I mean, look at the size of them. They literally only release Call of Duty, like, and I know that they own Blizzard, but they keep cancelling all of Blizzard's stuff. And
only make Call of
I
Duty.
genuinely, my eyebrows
What about
raised.
Spyro and Crash?
oh, let's just remaster some old games and get some cash. That's the way I look at them. All right, I don't care if they're good remasters or not. They just feel like the most non-creative publisher out there. They feel it's all about the money, and I genuinely raised my eyebrows when they announced Modern Warfare, and I'm not talking about 2004. I'm talking about 2019. I saw that game and I was like, that's the first time I've been interested in the Call of Duty in forever. And then I was like, oh, they're going to have Season Pass and they're going to have map packs, fuck them. And then they were like, no, we're not. And I was like, it's the same person in charge at Activision? Like, who's making this decision? And it's almost like they finally realised that they are the last holdout of the old era and that they need to come back to the fold and produce a game that is not in that way. So yeah, I don't disagree with the Destiny thoughts. There are people I know that have played it religiously and play it to this day, and I will never understand it, and I am so glad that I'm not into that game, because I can't imagine having to go on all the time. Oh, what's selling? Oh, I need to do my strikes, or fuck all that shit. And for the record, the whole PlayStation exclusive content for a year and bullshit like that, that shit needs to fucking die. And I'm very glad Bungie have split from Activision now, and I just hope that they get to make the game they want to make instead of being dictated to by a publisher that only has financial gain at heart. Not that all publishers don't have that, but you know what I mean. There's a line to walk.
Yeah, see, I never got like the whole hate for the whole like non-issue-esque of Activision, because Activision easily has the worst microtransactions in across any of the companies, but they're not routinely called out for it like EA is, right?
It's bizarre.
And it weirds me out because like, yeah, EA's got this whole stupid shit where they're like, no, loot boxes are just surprise mechanics or other fucking bullshit like that.
Surprise mechanics.
Like, they let their studios create games without having to crunch, right? Now, they still force a deadline, so half the time the games coming out are fucking rushed to shit. But they don't let their studios experience crunch. They have some of the best developers under their wing, and they still make a broad range of games. Sports, shooters, fucking what it was like their indie stuff. I can't remember the last indie one.
EA Originals?
I think so. Yeah. Wasn't A Way Out? A Way Out was EA.
It's one of them. Fee or Faye or however you pronounce it. Unraveled.
And Unraveled,
Yeah. Like, they have all these initiatives, and they make compared to Activision, they make a wide array of games, right?
Yeah.
But they're the ones sharply criticized because they always fucking like put themselves in the spotlight compared to Activision. Activision's just like, we're gonna do our thing, and it's gonna be fucking terrible, but we're not gonna talk about it. You're gonna talk about it, and you're gonna take the fucking heat for it. And we'll just have everyone let it slide.
Yeah, I just genuinely, I have a deep dislike for Activision in general. I just think
it's fair to hate both companies.
I would never say I hate a company. Like, it's not a person.
It's fair to dislike a company.
I just. Ugh.
Both of them have done and continue to do incredibly stupid, shitty things. But the proportion of hate EA gets compared to the proportion of hate Activision gets for roughly the same fucking things is ridiculous.
I think it's because, EA perhaps have more, outside of Call of Duty, EA have more franchises that people are invested in, but also more franchises that are reliant upon those microtransactions. FIFA Ultimate Team being one of those shocking surprise mechanic driven,
relies entirely on microtransactions and the battle pass.
When that whole
all this chat, and we're still only at number 5.
I know. I was thinking
we forgot to number 4 yet.
But okay, you know what? Let's shelve this conversation for later. Have Nick continue his list.
Oh, wait till I get to number 1.
Oh god,
this is what number 5 got.
This is gonna be fun.
Okay, number 4. I reckon most people seem to be on board with this one that read it on the website, PUBG.
Okay.
I got excited with everyone else when it was announced for Xbox because it was so popular on PC, and I just I bought it sight unseen on Xbox the day it came out.
Yeah.
And I get that it's in preview, but oh fuck, like even I didn't expect the level of just sheer jank and just utter garbage that we got with PUBG. And even now, it's still, I don't know. I love the concept of battle royale games. Like the premise to this day, I still really like it. I just still yearn for that battle royale game to come along that blends not realism. Realism is probably not the right word, but that attempt at realism that PUBG has, but with the gameplay of Fortnite. Fortnite still plays the best out of all of them. I still really like how Fortnite plays. But
okay, gunplay maybe, but the fact that when I shoot someone in Fortnite, they turn around and turn into an 8-story tall building, and then I die.
Yeah,
I hit them first.
That's what sucks.
That fucking blows.
Yeah.
Fortnite.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was. I'll never forget it. I wish I'd kept the message, but I was playing Fortnite, got to the final 5, killed this guy, and got a message like 1 minute later on Xbox, and he told me off for shooting him as opposed to having a build off. He basically,
oh my.
Yeah, he basically said, as if you shoot me. I'm like, what the fuck else would I do, dude? If I'm not going to shoot you, I'm not going to turn
I have
into
a gun.
building.
The object is to kill you. I'm going to take that opportunity.
That is bizarre.
He literally got upset because I shot at him as opposed to building up. It was just, oh fuck.
I've played a lot of PUBG, but I played a lot of PUBG on PC back when it was taking the world by storm, back before Fortnite totally ripped off the premise. And I say ripped off, they did take a lot of elements from PUBG's success, because their main game that they'd worked for fucking years on had completely failed. And they were like, quick, make a battle royale. And it's pure luck that it came through. PUBG on PC, I experienced similar amounts of jank, but I loved it enough to go and invest in a new graphics card just so I could brute force it to a solid 60 FPS. I'm not the best on PC with FPS controls. I'm a console kid at heart, so mouse and keyboard for me is a tricky thing to get to grips with. I got good enough to kind of hold my own, and I had a good solid sort of quarter of a year, half a year of regular pub games on PC that I really enjoyed. But to this day, I still find it to be an extremely janky experience.
It's too janky.
It feels really underdeveloped. Animations are sloppy. The graphics are a bit meh. It was the heart rate and the intensity of when you're either in a firefight and it comes out of nowhere, or you're in that final circle and shit's going crazy and you're like lying in the ground. That's the bit that people hooked onto. So I totally get why you wouldn't latch onto the game from a gameplay perspective.
Getting that chicken dinner is still exhilarating. I don't know if he's listening, but shout out to All No Bones. The only chicken dinner I ever got was when the game first came out and the two of us played duos, and we ended up winning. We were hiding in a bunch of crates or something like that, and it came down to just the two of us versus one other guy, and it got really intense because we were all just walking around in circles around these crates. But it was, that aspect of it is cool, but it just, the game just, I don't know, it plays too horribly for me to enjoy.
It definitely plays even worse on console. When I loaded the console version, I thought, yay, I can play with the pad, and then I was like, this is awful. And I am stunned that it was allowed to release in the condition that it did. But it's on, what was it? It was on Xbox's early access, so it's okay to be janky. And it just, I've never gone back to it, and I would never play that. I mean, let's be honest. Battle Royale, as soon as the Halo one drops and it's all amazing and open world, we'll all be fine, yeah? ODST to spawn in, you just land, come out, great, sold.
That'll be awesome. The thing for me with PUBG is that it always felt too laggy, and the controls never felt too responsive.
Yeah.
And the jankiness, like not loading into buildings at the beginning of a match and falling through floors, can be funny. But I can even deal with that to an extent if the game actually felt like it controlled well.
Yeah.
On consoles, it just doesn't. It feels very laggy. Like the movement feels delayed. If to me, it feels like it's almost as bad as Grand Theft Auto's clunkiness in first person. But
I've read his article.
The one compliment though I will give to PUBG is that landing shots in it does feel satisfying.
Yeah, I think the gun projectile,
the little burst of blood.
Yeah.
Like with a shotgun or something feels satisfying.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah, so funny you should mention Grand Theft Auto. Because number 3, I mean, look, technically it doesn't count as a Gen 8 game, but it came out after the Wii U was released. It got a re-release for current gen consoles, and I didn't want to lump all of Rockstar's games at number 3. But yeah, I'll put Grand Theft Auto 5 at number 3, because I haven't played Red Dead 2, so I didn't want to put that there. But I just don't like Rockstar's open world games. It's the same thing for me as PUBG. If a game doesn't play well, then I'm just not really interested in it. And the thing with Rockstar is that they have absolutely no excuse for their games playing the way they do. When you have complete and utter autonomy for how long you take to develop a game, when you have unlimited resources, when you can basically do whatever the fuck you want, there is zero excuse for your game feeling like fried sloth shit to play. I can't deal with it.
I can only agree.
And that's my main issue with Grand Theft Auto. Like I played 4, like I played them all on PlayStation 2. And it's funny, if you go back and play the Grand Theft Auto games on PS2, they're actually probably less sloppy than the Gen 7 and Gen 8 games.
Yeah.
They're actually probably tighter to play. Like, you know, I got excited for Grand Theft Auto 4 way back in April 2008. I was there day one, bought the limited edition, took it home, started playing, and just, oh, God, it's just so clunky, just so slow and...
Yeah, you're not wrong. I think Rockstar's games in general, I think to caveat this, they are the genuine masters at creating an immersive, kind of active, lively, open world.
Yep.
But they always feel like walking through mud when they're playing. Red Dead is especially a bizarre mix, and it's an artistic decision. No, it's almost like they don't give a fuck about how it feels to play. So here's an interesting question for you, Ed. Is Crackdown 3 better than Grand Theft Auto 5?
Yes.
For me it is. But I'm aware of the fact that that's a minority opinion. But don't forget that Crackdown was made by the original Grand Theft Auto creator. Like, I remember playing the first Crackdown and thinking it felt almost exactly like Grand Theft Auto 3.
Yeah.
In the way it played. Almost exactly the same.
Yeah. I think
But at least Crackdown 3, like if you were to play Crackdown 1 and Crackdown 3, there is a noticeable improvement in how it feels.
Yeah, I agree.
When you play Grand Theft Auto 3 and Grand Theft Auto 5, it's regressed.
Yeah.
Like it just... I couldn't believe those games
thing with GTA
to play.
The thing with me and GTA is, like how I said about Destiny, how I enjoy that I don't have an interest in it. For me, it's more because I agree with you, Grand Theft Auto. I just do not. I'm all about how a game feels. That's the most important thing to me. And Grand Theft Auto is something where I have invested a lot of time into multiplayer with friends and stuff. But to see like all the time people put into this game and all the crazy stuff they do online and people pulling off crazy stunts with jets and actually like being able to kill people, and I'm just like, I can't do that stuff, or rather I don't enjoy the way it feels doing that stuff, and I wish I did, so then I can actually actively participate more and like whatever events come out and stuff.
It's a shame because, like I said, Rockstar are the masters of creating living, breathing worlds.
Yeah.
Their visuals, they push the hardware like no one else. Like how Grand Theft Auto 5 looked on 360 even was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like they're great at all that sort of stuff, but God, the most important aspect of a video game, and they continually to just neglect it and not give a flying fuck about how their games feel.
Yeah.
It pisses me off. It's why I won't touch Red Dead. I will not touch it.
No, she's been pretty quiet here, Cairo. Are you okay? Yes, deep breaths.
I'm just not saying anything because we still have to get on with the rest of Ed's list here. So
you got no thoughts on GTA being a terrible game?
None that would take the next 2 minutes to solve. So let's go.
Number 2, again, there's a common theme here. Number 2, Monster Hunter World.
Okay.
Again, I gave it a go. I played it on Xbox and PS4, and it's just, again, it's too sluggish, too clunky, and I don't know. I actually found it a little bit boring.
Man, this list sounds weird. It's supposed to be a top 5, right? You're shitting on the last 2 games.
Well, top 5 games that Ed hated that everyone else quite likes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Stupid. Stupid.
It was the reverse of the last one.
I'm sorry. My bad.
Yeah. I don't know. For a game that's supposed to be about hunting big, massive, giant monsters, it's surprisingly boring. And I just didn't like how sluggish and clunky it felt. I gave it a go back on the Wii as well. What was the Wii one? Monster Hunter
Generations,
something like that.
Was it Generations? Yeah, I gave that one a go, and that was clunky as hell. And I thought, on Xbox One and PS4 it won't be like that. But nope, that's completely intentional the way it plays.
Yeah, it's not a game I've tried, but it falls into that category of a game that demands too much of my time for me to even want to pick up.
So it is kind of intimidating though to get into it. I've tried on multiple occasions, but I see all the stats and everything all on me in the menu at once, and I get scared.
Yeah.
Dauntless is a much more streamlined version of that, and does a lot to kind of simplify the mechanics.
Yeah, Dauntless did feel better. Dauntless felt better than
my
Monster
problem
Hunter.
with Dauntless is the difficulty ramping from the beginning monsters to the middle section. It's fucking impossible.
Dauntless is the free-to-play one, right?
It's free to play.
Yeah.
The minute you get introduced to the normal level electricity monsters, you're fucked because you don't have the gear for it, right? You fucking have to do impossible amounts of grind to get the gear for it, and those fuckers, even with the right gear, do such insane amounts of damage to you that it's just. Me and my friends have never been able to finish a single fight against an electricity monster once we made it to the normal difficulty.
So I'm all for games giving me a challenge, but that just sounds like a chore.
It turned into a chore, which is why.
Well, game number 1.
Hey, here we go.
Kyra's gonna love this one. And look, at least this one bucks the trends of games that feel like shit, because this game doesn't feel like shit to play. I didn't like this game for other reasons. Game number 1 is Overwatch.
Okay. Oh my god.
Shit, I'm not ready for this.
I agree with you. So you're expecting
like Destiny, I did
I'm
try. Like Destiny, I did try to get into Overwatch. I've played it numerous times on all the free weekends on PS4, PC, Xbox, the whole lot, and Overwatch does feel good. It doesn't. There's no problem there. The game feels great. I just think, for me, objective-based multiplayer modes have never been my thing. And I'm aware that they introduced deathmatch in 2017. Is that right? Was it 2017
maybe.
they brought in deathmatch, like traditional deathmatch?
When they introduced arcade mode, yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, arcade mode.
Arcade has the all mini mode. Deathmatch is part of that, but they have a bunch of rotating playlists there too. So.
Yeah, but I think by then it was just too late. And I think with me anyway, in Overwatch, I just couldn't settle on a character that suited the way I play shooters. I generally instinctively picked who was that generic white dude with the white hair with the
Soldier?
Yeah, him.
Soldier.
I picked him anyway, but again, even him, he was the closest thing to suiting the way I play. But even him, I don't know. I couldn't settle on a character that I liked. Wasn't a fan of all the rotating objectives, and I couldn't get in. And I tried numerous times to get into Overwatch, and I just couldn't. It wasn't for me.
Maybe one day it'll click. You ever have that where you try a game so many times and it just clicks one day?
Yeah, I know, but I've tried like at least 3 or 4 times.
Believe it or not, that was
When
me
you
when
get into
Destiny.
the double digits, then we'll talk.
that was me when. See, okay, funny story. Going back to Destiny 2, I absolutely hated Destiny 2 when it released. One, because I didn't think, and still don't think, that Destiny 2 should have ever existed. It should have been an expansion of Destiny 1 from the very beginning. I hate that they had to release a sequel to a fucking multiplayer game because Activision likely forced them to, right? But everything about how moving in Destiny 1 felt, how shooting in Destiny 1 felt, was great. And then moving to Destiny 2, it was like, holy shit, I can't shoot, I can't move, I can't aim. Why does everything feel so goddamn floaty? Why does everything feel so... Actually, like, because I felt the opposite of you, Nick, where Destiny 1 felt less floaty to me than Destiny 2 did at first. They brought it back in line over the course of several updates and the Forsaken expansion and things like that. But I could not stand, for the opening months of Destiny 2, I could not stand how shooting, moving, and aiming in that game felt whatsoever. Like, I literally just spent like 6 months going back to Destiny 1, buying copies for all my friends along with all the DLC, and we all just fucking played that in the middle of like, of course there were no events because they all moved away to, all the events moved to Destiny 2, right? But we still played the shit out of it, played all the raids, played fucking Crucible when we could find a goddamn match because no one was playing that game anymore.
That's weird. They should have kept that community and taken it across as an expansion rather than build a sequel. And perhaps that's what they'll do with Destiny Part 3. I don't know.
Watch, Destiny 3 is going to be even slower, even floatier, and it's going to be the same progression that happened with the Halo franchise. And people who are Halo 1 fans especially know this track record. You know everything you described with how Destiny 1 transitioned to Destiny 2, a core on a meta level, like how you liked how it felt, how it shooting felt, and all that stuff, the movement.
Yeah.
I feel the same way with Halo 1.
Yeah, I remember when
it's like a completely different game. It's even more of a transition between games than Destiny 1 to Destiny 2.
Yeah, I remember when Halo 2 launched, right? And from the 2019 perspective, looking back, you see so many people lauding up how Halo 2 was the pinnacle of the PvP mode, and Halo 3 was a treacle mess, and blah blah blah. Go back to Halo 2 style, and I'm like, I remember when Halo 2 launched, and I remember playing the campaign and thinking, and then playing the PvP and thinking, what have they done? I mean, I still got lots of fun out of it, and even when the 360 launched, I still played Halo 2 a lot. But yeah, and I remember Halo2sucks.com. Do you remember that? The outcry was ridiculous. Yep. And then you think, like, where are those people now? Like, clearly they got over it, and I think it just changes with generations. You'll get people that are always going to be the diehard. To me, Halo CE is still plays and feels the best Halo. Arguably, I would say Halo 3 was my personal favourite Halo because of the amount of time spent in it. Even more arguably, Halo Reach is the most technically accomplished Halo. But yeah, Halo CE for me always in my heart. But I imagine that's going to happen with Destiny. Yeah, well, there's so many classic maps.
Multiplayer Battle Creek.
I loved it. Hang 'em High for me was my jam. Jam.
But
that was a good top 5.
I honestly didn't disagree with anything you said about Overwatch, so I don't know why you said that. I would like it as if I disagreed. No, I don't like Overwatch. I've said this multiple times.
Did you play
I thought you did. I thought you loved Overwatch.
No, fucking no. I've actually gone back to playing TF2 more recently.
You keep turning the show into an Overwatch podcast, so I assume
because you guys keep bringing it up. I mean, you put the topic out there. You can't expect me to not respond to it, right? No, I've been playing TF2 recently on PC, and trying to recall how much fun I had in that game, and I'm like, why did I ever just stop playing this game?
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
It should have an Xbox, a new gen release.
Yeah,
Like, there's no reason why it shouldn't.
It's messed up that it doesn't.
It's just like Valve don't care about making games anymore, arguably.
Valve don't care about anything. They don't even care about updating their fucking UI.
Yeah, it's a bit shit.
Like, I get it in terms of like, yeah, there's a lot of Steamworks integration and all the fucking the TF2 on PC thrives on the community economy and the community market. People adding maps that Valve has officially added to the game and into the rotations. But like, at the same time, fucking put out, throw a fucking bone to the people on console. For the love of God. I want to be able to play with the friends that never get on PC because they don't even have a PC powerful enough to like run most games, let alone TF2 at any respectable frame rates, because they all use integrated graphics cards on fucking laptops. Yeah. No. Please, for the love of God, give me a goddamn console port. So I don't have to fucking play by myself on PC.
Isn't TF2 one of those games that runs on just about anything though?
It is, but not you know, like
it's based on a it's based on a really older version of Source 1 before all the optimizations that happened to it to get like Counter-Strike running on it, or even because Dota 2 is Source 2 technically. It's not even Source 1. So it performs a lot better on lower spec machines. Respawn had to do a lot of tinkering with Source 1 just to get it to run effectively on consoles.
Yeah.
Right? Like Titanfall 1 may use a very unmodified version of Source 1, but it was still modified enough so that the game performed well on Xbox.
Yeah.
Right?
I love that game.
Titanfall's great. Both of them.
Oh, fucking love Titanfall.
I just don't want to have to fucking play an inferior game. Like, this is all I ask, Valve. Please, from the bottom of my heart, please just give me the game on Xbox.
Oh man,
that's
with
quite
Microsoft.
A hot take.
Well,
speaking of hot takes,
before we get into hot takes, I just wanted to quickly throw a shout out. I can't remember because timelines are weird, and I've had a very busy couple of weeks. The new official thread for the Xbox Game Studios thread launched, and it's titled "I'm Back to Rise." In reference to Killer Instinct. You know, we need another Killer Instinct. I just wanted to say that again.
Because that's Max in the Discord.
Yeah.
Another Killer Instinct?
Yeah.
Please?
Yeah.
I want next E3 when they announce the full Scorpio launch, right?
Scarlet.
For them to go up on stage, right? And the in the middle of the show, all of a sudden all the lights cut off. and then you just hear
yeah.
Right? And then you just see the KI logo flashing, and there's a fucking big ass 2 right next to it.
Yeah, it'd be cool to see.
Ooh, oh my god.
Do you think they'll call it KI2 though?
I don't know.
I hope so, because KI 2013 was technically a reboot of the franchise, so
yeah, why not?
It makes sense to call it 2.
Anyway.
We're just sort of entering that realm of Battlefront twice and Battlefront 2 twice.
It happens. It's video games. You can only, that's. I feel sorry for Xbox as a brand. Like, what are you going to call your console?
Xbox 5.
They won't. They'll call it Infinite.
Telling this
they'll call it Xbox Infinity,
5.
and they'll have the Infinity logo go whoop, and be like, we can play everything. That's what they're going to do.
If they still want that numbered parity that they've secretly always wanted since the start, this is their last chance to do it. Because, I mean, if you think about the logic they used for Xbox One
input
in a roundabout way, it kind of makes sense. But I can totally see them justifying the One X as the fourth Xbox. They'll come out with some shit about how the architecture was different enough, the power difference was big enough to consider it the fourth Xbox, and then they'll call it Xbox 5, which aligns with PS5, and then they'll just go from there.
I don't disagree with you. No. I think that they should, but they won't. They'll call it something stupid.
Because then it allows them to go... It also then allows them to go Xbox 5X for the Pro model, Xbox 5S for the Slim model, and just go with that almost iPhone style of naming.
Yeah, you might be right. We'll see. We'll find out in a year or so.
Well, if they don't call it Xbox 5, that's it.
I'm not buying
Every
it.
future
I'm not
Xbox
buying it.
have some random. No, that like they'll never go with a number.
They
It'll
should have
always
just
be
kept with
some-
the. They should have just kept the degree naming. Honestly, that was a good theme. 360, 720, 1080.
Yeah, it wouldn't work though. 720. Oh, it only does 720p.
I mean, people were already fucking
watch
doing
the-
that shit for the Xbox One, so does it really matter?
No.
Did any of you watch the movie Real Steel?
Yeah, I love that
Yes.
fucking film, and it had the Xbox 720 logo.
They had
on
the
it.
Xbox 720 at the stadium.
What? Who gave the green light to that? Which marketing person?
I don't
was
know,
like,
but someone at Microsoft did,
That's fucking hilarious.
so they're aware of it.
So silly. Anyway, hot takes. Hot takes. You got some hot takes for us? What have you got? You said speaking of hot takes, so I presume, Ed, that you've got one lined up and ready to...
No.
No?
I know Kaironaut does, though.
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
Go
Oh.
on, Cairo. Hit us up with a...
So in the
fresh-
in the latest Halo thread here on titled "Why Halo Struggles to Evolve," right? We have I'm not gonna name any names, right?
Yeah, don't name
But
Don't name it. We all know who he is.
but
Don't
the
name
post reads, "You can tell they were trying to evolve Halo 5 into something radically different from the couple of hub areas you got to explore. Rumors from development was they basically scrapped a very different campaign 18 months before launch, and it shows. Seems like Infinite, they're finally succeeding in changing the formula if the open world rumors are true." Here's the hot take. Of course, the biggest change in Halo, and huge mistake, in my honest opinion, was taking the game to 60 FPS and losing that Halo feel. Fucking what?
What?
Hold on.
Oh, I like it when
So
my controller is running
apparently-
through mud.
Apparently, 60 FPS isn't Halo. Feels too different. No, fuck that. Halo
No, it
60
feels dead,
FPS
huh?
is one of the best parts of Halo 5. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that is ridiculous.
So rock
Even,
solid.
even the Master
60
Chief
FPS.
collection, all of the 60 FPS for the remakes is
Yeah.
literally a godsend.
Yes.
That is
So good.
Holy
madness
shit.
to be
The smoothness
challenging
of gameplay,
30 FPS.
The smoothness of gameplay, the fact that it doesn't look like a fucking like stuttery mess at fucking half refresh rate. It doesn't look like fucking. It doesn't look like you're fucking watching a slideshow sped up to me.
Yeah.
And I've experienced enough fucking like 60 FPS games to know the 30 FPS feels like shit.
Yeah.
Flat out. 60 FPS feels like the golden gods of above came
Yeah.
down and
It's the
pressed
bare
earth.
minimum now. And that's coming from someone who's now got 144 hertz monitor. It's awesome. I would say, and I think this is something that I love that Phil Spencer has been saying recently in interviews from E3 and stuff. It was not so much about resolution anymore, not so much about power,
Yeah, frame rate.
but about how a game feels. And I took that to mean a literal translation about how it feels, and that 60 FPS feel is critical, I think, to any game, and anyone that argues that 30 FPS is better because I'd rather they push more pixels to the screen. Fuck that. You know, a gameplay is king, right?
I want
That's why
60
we play
first.
games. I don't play movies. All right.
I mean, like Gears 5 looks really fucking good, and that's 60
Phenomenal.
FPS all the way through.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, but it's not
So
4K
what
native.
So what if it's fucking checkerboard 4K?
Who gives
That
a
60 FPS is fucking butter. That's
Yeah.
all that matters.
Yeah,
Because it
that's
makes the game feel more responsive. It makes the game feel like I'm not wading through molasses.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, that is a ridiculous hot take, and
And-
if you're listening, whoever
and that's
posted
the
that,
thing.
you should feel bad.
How
And
great
that's
would
the
it be
thing.
if like that's the target next generation is for 60 FPS gaming?
I'd be
It
really
will be.
happy, and then
It
you'll
will
see
be.
Probably
different
for
arguments.
I hope so.
If Microsoft, I think, will lean
It
into
will
it. It'd be interesting to see what happens from a PlayStation perspective and that whole digital foundry war, because 60 FPS is and will always be better than 30, and it's going to be interesting if they, because arguably there's two different mindsets here. people that play games will know that 60 FPS feels better and can read it great. But games that push 30, and if they're coming out on the Sony platform, if they're their first party stuff, and they still do 30, but really go all out with bells and whistles, and then you get Microsoft games that say, no, we want to mandate 60 on the platform. Are we going to have that kind of, well, the games look better on the PlayStation, they don't feel better to play? It'd be interesting to see what happens in that dynamic. It's going to be an interesting time.
I don't think a mandate will ever be like.
Well, they've tried mandating before.
Phil Spencer hands down from above. No, I think what'll happen.
He could mandate for the first party studios.
Yeah,
that's probably what.
That's
could
probably
happen,
more
and honestly
accurate.
what should happen.
Yeah.
But I think the whole useless debate of fucking, Uncharted 4 looks like one of the best games of the generation, and that's because it runs at 30 FPS. It's like, no. The Last of Us Remastered looks fucking glorious, and that runs at 60 FPS.
Yeah.
So, fuck yourself, right?
Well, all right then.
60 FPS.
Shadow of the
the
Tomb
best.
Raider looks unreal at 60.
Yeah.
Not
Exactly.
Shadow. Rise of the Tomb Raider looks unreal.
Yes.
Yeah.
I loved it.
60 FPS is king. Sorry.
No, I agree. Wholeheartedly agree. I've got a good hot take here. Now, this was a whole thread. This was a whole thread of hot take. So I can't read the whole thing because this guy went all out, right? But to give you an idea of what this post was called, the thread title was I don't like Microsoft.
Oh, that one. Oh, I saw that.
The guy got permed and the thread was locked, but whoo-wee, there's some good stuff in this. So I'm just going to cherry pick some stuff.
Some
So
juicy
this is a good one. I disliked what happened with Rare, Microsoft and Nintendo. It benefited no one. The studio known for classics was decimated. The talent and the IPs were left to dry. They're still clinging on to that. Like, I love new Rare, and the fact is that they don't want to work on their old stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't mean, I'd much rather they be doing what they want to do, because if your talent is forced to work on an IP, they're going to fuck off anyway if they don't get to be creatively what they want to be doing. But this is my favourite bit. I don't like paying for internet. Xbox Live started this precedent, and it was only because of Xbox One's massive failure that Sony got away with charging for PS Plus. That is like a stupid sentence. Like that is dumb, like genuinely dumb. Well, I can't even begin to take that one apart. Like, yes, Xbox Live started the precedent because it was an impressive service that was worth the money. And PlayStation then realised how big online got and were like, yeah, we need some of that cash. It's nothing to do with the fact that Microsoft charged for it. It's just they wanted to make some money. It's just, it's really infuriating. I still think, though, that I think Xbox will go free multiplayer next gen.
I think they'll do it as well.
There'll be a big banner announcement with the console launch. Because
that'll be quite a bomb.
With their PC Xbox merge of systems,
that's the thing.
It isn't fair. You can choose to subscribe to Gold, and maybe it will give you some perks, like it will give you more than 4-player party chat, and it will give you free games per month. Like, free as in free, not 3 as in the number 3. But multiplayer should be free. I don't disagree with that. There's a lot of other things in it. I don't like the Xbox One SAD. I think it's a massive failure that can't be read into whatsoever.
He didn't say sad.
He said
There's
Sade.
an E at the end.
He said Sade. I don't know what the E is for.
The Sade.
The
Digital
Sade.
edition.
Oh, fair
Edition.
enough. Fair enough. That's what the
Sade.
edition
Like,
is
I know
for.
what it's for, but it looks dumb.
Yeah.
Spelled as an acronym.
There's some great stuff in it. Microsoft totally missed the boat on cell phones. Yes. They did.
Okay.
Like, this guy's just genuinely ragging on Microsoft for ages, and I love the mod's response. This thread doesn't seem like it would foster productive or civil discussion. Closed. So yeah, that was an entertaining read for all of 5 minutes, but there you go. I don't have too much on the hot takes section today. I think the internet's obviously been quite quiet, but I know we've covered some of the other crazy things on the internet this week, like the Ublet stuff. So I guess that leaves us. Unless anyone else has
Are we
got
killing
one.
some babies?
Yeah, we're getting Funknown. You got any more
No,
babies
no
for us to
babies.
kill?
No babies being killed today.
Okay, what are we killing?
So we're gonna be killing a bunch of games though, for sure.
Oh,
It's gonna
okay.
be we're gonna be making a top 5 of our most, and this is of the most official, like the last podcast, the most official list we can officially make, officially for our top 5 most anticipated games. You know, either this year or next year, whatever.
Okay.
So I'm gonna reveal the games one by one, and there's only 5 slots to be taken up out of 10 games. But I'm gonna reveal the games one by one, and if you decide to keep the game on the list, then it's locked in. You can't remove it, can't change it. So as you go along, you got to decide if you're gonna keep the game or scrap it, and you don't know what's coming up.
Wait,
Okay.
did we already do anticipated games last time?
No, we did.
That was for E3.
That was E3
It was E3.
specific.
Yeah.
E3.
Yeah,
Okay.
E3 specifically.
So this is
right.
this is across the board, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is only, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, Xbox exclusives. So you'll see in a second why I say that. So the first game. Oh, and again, I have a shield. So once there's 3 games left, I'm gonna protect one of those games. So then it's in the top 2.
Oh, okay.
Are we gonna take turns picking and choosing which one stage?
No, it's open. It's open.
It's an open table discussion. All right.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So remember, 5 games you got to keep. First game on the list. Oh, and also I had to come up with a revive power. So if you guys take a game off of the list, I can revive it for one elimination,
Okay.
and then you can eliminate it again. All right.
Okay.
All right.
I like these
Trying
games.
to save your ass on the last one, huh? Because we fucking got rid of your favorite immediately.
Okay. First game.
Shitty Battletoads.
Motherfucker.
We gotta kill Battletoads again, right?
First game is Battletoads.
It's gone. Bye.
Yeah, it's not
Bye-bye.
back on the list.
All right. I'm gonna resurrect it. It's coming back.
I feel this game is staged.
This game's rigged.
I swear,
like
I
these
swear
odds.
you, the revive power was totally not staged. I swear.
So you've used the
Alright.
only revive on Battletoads.
So it's revived for 1 round. So the next game, if you want to keep it on the list or eliminate it, is Pokemon Sword and Shield. You know, one of the most anticipated Xbox exclusives coming up this year.
It's not a game for me. I have no interest in Pokemon.
Oh, me? I'm hanging for Pokemon.
All right.
I've been waiting
I like
for Pokemon console game for
I'm
20 years.
outvoted then, so I guess it's going on the list.
Do you want to keep it on the list?
Is it keeping on
Yeah,
the list?
yep.
Yeah, vote of 3-1.
Yep.
So first game is I was gonna say Battletoads. Damn. Pokemon. Pokemon
is
Sword
on
and
the
Shield.
list.
All right. Next game is
Yep.
Battletoads again. Just do it.
It's
Gone.
It's still not on the
Fuck.
list.
God damn it.
You should have saved that revive, bro. You knew it wasn't going to happen.
It totally wasn't staged though. I'll tell you. All right. Next game after that is Ori and the Will of the Wisps. That's the third game that
I will
I'm
put
making.
that on my list, 100%.
Yeah.
Locking it in?
Sure.
Can't wait. Can't
Yep,
wait for
lock
that
it
game.
in.
Lock that shit in.
So number 1 is Pokemon. 2 is Ori. All right, the next game is Doom Eternal.
Yep.
Nah, I'm not chomping
Nah,
at the
not
bit.
really.
I'll
Not
play
feeling it.
I won't put it on
Really?
my list. I mean,
I'll
I'm
probably
looking.
buy it on a sale
You
later.
only have
but
3 spots left, and this is number 4.
Yeah, I'm not putting it on.
Yeah, no, not that much.
It is going to come to Game Pass.
Yeah.
All right, so it's gone. Next game, number 5, is Flight Simulator.
No, it's not going on a list.
No.
It's not most anticipated for me. No way.
No.
I mean, it's a curio at best.
It's an interesting title, but no.
Okay, toss aside. Number 6, Luigi's Mansion 3.
No.
No.
Are we Nintendo era now? No.
What do you mean? This is gonna be on Xbox Live.
Yeah. It's going to be on Nintendo Switch Game Pass with Xbox Live achievements.
Yeah, sure.
All right. So we still only have 2 games on the list, which is Pokemon and Ori. Number 7 is Control.
No.
Yeah,
No?
I don't think I put
Looks
it on the
boring.
list.
Pretty meh on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks boring.
I think Remedy. It feels like a kind of weird Alan Wake, Quantum Break, weird semi sequel. I don't know, but I'm certainly not like super hyped to play it. I've heard it's a bit of a Metroidvania type
That's what got me interested in
And
it. It's going to be Metroidvania.
I will definitely give it a go, but if it comes to Game Pass or if it's on a really good sale, I'm not like super hyped to jump on the bandwagon.
No.
So no.
I don't know. Personally, I love the vibes of it, and I like how it has like I don't know if they have different weapons or if they said it's only one gun, but you can upgrade it and change it around.
Yeah, you can add different perks to it or something like that.
Yeah. All right. It looks cool, but so it's cut.
It's cut.
Yeah.
Right. Now, I should note that you don't have to make it top 5. If it's only going to be top 2, that's fine. Top 3, whatever. It's okay. A game doesn't have to be on the list because we only have 3 games left, but you'll see why. So number 8, Link's Awakening.
Not
Oh
really.
my god.
Not really.
I've got Tunic coming. I want Tunic.
Tunic does look good.
Yeah, can we put Tunic on there instead?
Can we substitute? Yeah.
Yeah, substitute Tunic. Stick Tunic on the list. Tunic's
Tunic
locked
is
in.
number 3.
Tunic.
We're putting a wild card here.
Yeah, the wild card.
Number 9, Breath of the Wild 2.
No.
I
Flat no.
dislike
A
Breath
flat no, Jesus
of the
Lord.
Wild.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'll look forward to that one.
Yeah.
That's 2-1. So.
Wait, Sick, you said no?
I disliked Breath of the Wild.
Same.
I liked
What
it
didn't you
in
like
that
about it?
I was like, ooh, but then it fell into every other open world game, and then they put in that bizarre weapon destructive mechanic that made me have to fucking hot swap out constantly, and I gave up.
That's the only part I didn't like about Breath of the Wild. The weapon degradation pissed me off.
It's just stupid. Give me guns and weapons that last. But yeah, I admired it from a development perspective, so I certainly wouldn't take it away if you guys wanted to put it on the list. But it's definitely not my kind of game.
See, this is all an experiment just to gauge interest.
I've noticed there's no PlayStation exclusives on this list.
trying to cross over. No, I know we have PlayStation's number 1 fan over there, Mr. Ed.
Yeah, big keen.
All right, and the last game is Gears Pop.
Not even Gears Tactics? What is this fucking list, dude?
What?
Is this like...
Where's Last of Us? Where is Cyberpunk? Where
is this a joke? Is this... Am I being punked? Where's the camera? Hold on. Where's the camera?
Oh,
it's right
People
there.
watching this right now, you think the joke is on you guys, but in reality, everybody who's watching this is so disappointed with you guys right now. No Zelda game on the list? What the hell is going on?
There's Tunic. Tunic's on the list. That counts as an unofficial.
Yeah,
That's a Zelda.
Tunic is a Zelda game. It's just not called Zelda.
It's probably going to be better than the latest Zelda, to be honest.
It's developed by one guy.
That's
Yeah,
impressive.
I played it at PAX Australia last year. It's fucking cool as.
I'm
It was so good.
definitely looking forward to it. I think
So
it's going to be good.
good.
I wonder
You guys
if
ever
And
played?
I'm interested because I got a funny feeling there's a reason for it, but there's no English text involved.
No, I like that.
All the text is in a made-up language, like
Wow.
hieroglyphs or script or something. And yeah, I'm interested to see what the deal is with that. But didn't stop me from figuring out what was going on. But yeah, the game
It's
is
interesting.
really.
I wonder if that's going to be like a launch title.
Nintendo stole his art too.
Launch title for the next gen console. I wonder.
Yeah, he's leaving it late. If it's coming out this gen, he's leaving it very late.
Yeah, I wonder if he'll just port it to the Scarlet and then just like up it so it's 4K 60 constantly or whatever.
Yeah.
When was it that we first saw it? It was 2017, was it?
2018.
It was only last year?
Yeah, it was last year.
No, it was earlier than that.
Was it?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I'll take your word for it. Yeah, so I think.
Well, there you have it. The official list is Pokemon, Ori, and Tunic. Doom Eternal got the axe, Battletoads.
I was
Flight
expecting
Simulator.
more games on this list.
Yeah.
I was
what?
expecting more good games
why
on this
didn't
list.
So
games like
disappointed right
Cyberpunk
now.
get mentioned?
Of course, it gets mentioned everywhere. You got to give other games a chance, you know, other Xbox exclusives, you know, like Luigi's Mansion. But I see there's no interest there at all whatsoever. So I guess, you know,
I didn't agree to be on the Nintendo Era podcast, which died, by the way. This is Doom.
Doom, like, I don't understand you guys. I just don't get it.
Why doesn't Doom get in if there's still 2 spots?
Because you guys already asked it. You played your cards too early.
There's no revival. If you want, we can put Doom and Battletoads on there to make it.
I didn't axe it. I've got great taste in games. I didn't axe it.
Yeah, sure. See, people who think they have great taste in games say they have great taste in games, and then when you look at the games they play, you're like, oh, this is what you mean by taste.
Oh, so harsh.
That's
But more on Doom though. You know, you bring up Ed, how earlier you said you're more into deathmatch. How do you feel that Doom is not going to have deathmatch, like standard deathmatch? Did you know about this?
I wasn't a massive fan of Doom's multiplayer in the 2016 game, so.
No, but I was thinking more along the lines of, as a Halo fan, you know, there's no arena shooters out that can take the stage again, aside from Halo. I was hoping for Doom to fill that niche, but
do you know what? When I saw Doom Eternal, do you know what I was reminded of when I watched it? I thought this gameplay reveal looks a lot like Halo 5 with a grapple.
Yeah,
like it had clamber, it had this kind of boost mechanic. The only thing that was different was the grappling sort of hook shot type thing.
And people clamored for it. Yet when Halo does it, it's like, oh, it's the Halo.
Well, how many years did people ask for Sprint? And then when we get Sprint, everybody hates it by the next game.
Yeah.
And by the way, Modern Warfare this year kind of has its own take on arena with gunfight.
Yeah, I saw gunfight. I like the look of it as well. I watched the multiplayer reveal.
Awesome.
Wait, you mean the 2v2 like Fiesta mode?
Yeah.
Honestly, they need a 3v3 to bring back Face-Off entirely. Because Face-Off and Modern Warfare 3 was the best fucking playlist.
I'd take 4v4 with Modern Warfare as well.
4v4 would be limited to the competitive mode, though. Like, I think 3v3s would be great. The Face-Off playlists in Modern Warfare 3 were, like, the best playlists in the game, by far.
Like, I definitely appreciate smaller games.
That was the last Call of Duty I got excited for, Modern Warfare 3. That was a good game.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever miss like 2v2s, 3v3 modes?
I love like, 2v2. It's my favorite.
Those are some of my best, my favorite modes in Halo are the doubles modes.
Doubles in Halo was
shit. I was level 48, I think, 47 or 48 in doubles. No. I was level 46 in doubles in Halo, level 48 in Slayer. But doubles for me, when I used to work night shifts, I had a friend of mine that used to work in a taxi rank, and he would work up until like midnight, and then but I would be staying up, so he'd get home and we would just game until 8 AM so that I could prep myself for the night shift. So many fond memories of double teams games and amazing comebacks where we, you know, I always say that I'd go through the 5 stages of Halo rage, which would be like, I'm fucking hyped to play, and then it was like, fuck this shit, and then it was like, oh, I don't even care anymore, I'm disinterested, and then it was like really despondent kind of, oh, should we just quit? And then it was engage the rage, and that's when my game would come on and I'd lean forward and I'd be good again. But yeah, fond memories of those times gone by.
But is Halo still relevant?
Yeah, it's relevant. It's relevant, and I think
for another podcast
we'll close it there. Halo's still relevant. I think next time your game should be rank the Halo campaigns, or do something like that. Rank the best campaigns out of like 5 franchises or something like that. That would be an interesting one to do, because you could pick from a bunch of franchises.
And anyway, of course, anyone listening or watching, if you have suggestions, always shoot them out there.
Shout them
out. We try to interact as much as we can. So
indeed.
Yep.
So, don't forget to follow us on Twitter, the XboxEra. Thank you for joining us again for another exciting episode of the XboxEra podcast. I'm going to go and deal with my kids. Funknown's going to go to bed. Kairo's probably going to go to bed. Ed's got his family back in the house. So, adios. See you later.
Take care.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.